Well, LeBron James, in an interview with Fox Sports, listed his top 3 best players of all time: Jordan, Dr. J, and Larry Bird, omitting Magic Johnson and eventually adding him as the 4th best player. Here's what Magic tweeted: "LeBron is entitled to his opinion, but I still think that he and I have a similar game, and that's why I love to watch him play." They're both big guys who can handle the rock. So let me ask you, Freddie, do they have similar games?
No, because LeBron is a genetic marvel. He really, really is. And I understand because LeBron is so good at doing a myriad of things offensively. He finds the open man, great penetrator getting to the basket, great finisher. Magic was underrated doing that as a finisher. I saw Magic time and time again take off on guys, even though he wasn't the biggest jumper or the best jumper, and do that. I just think because LeBron can do other things defensively that Magic could never even dream of doing. Not too many guys have been like this in the NBA. I think he's the greatest athlete ever played in the NBA. How many guys you know are 6'8", 260 pounds, built like an NFL tight end, and can run like a point guard? That has never happened before when it comes to LeBron James. So I understand where Magic is coming from, and believe me, I do not want to disrespect Earvin Magic Johnson and have that come back on me. But
Too late.
Well, yeah, you're probably right. Yeah, truth to be told. But at the same time, because LeBron does so many different things in a more athletic vein than Earvin Magic Johnson, that's why I don't think their games are as similar as Magic wants to say. And Magic loves the fact that guys can do so many different things like LeBron James. He loves guys like that. It's just that LeBron James does so many things on an air flight level that Magic Johnson was not able to do. That's why I hear it, but I'm not buying it because LeBron James is the greatest athlete to play in the NBA, in my opinion.
Well, LeBron is kind of like Magic on turbo. You know, a 2013 version of Magic. Back then, you didn't have those type of athletes. You had a few, Dr. J, then Michael Jordan. But now the athleticism is through the roof, and LeBron is just kind of a product of that, you know, as he's grown up. But they are similar in a lot of ways. I mean, you mentioned the size, Kerry. You know, the court vision. Now, Magic had greater court vision than LeBron. Magic was more of a true point guard and was much better passer. But LeBron is a great passer, and Absolutely. He does have great court vision for a player that size to do it. And let's face it, he also essentially plays point guard a lot. I mean, maybe 50, 60% of the time. Some games he's playing it exclusively. So he does play a lot of point guard. Secondly, these are 2 of the only players, and maybe you could even say the only players, who could have played all 5 positions for significant stretches. Right. I'm not saying Magic or LeBron would be a center permanently, but they could do it for significant stretches and play it at an all-star level. You could put Magic at any position, as we saw when he was a rookie, and he's jumped center in the NBA Finals Game 6 without Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and scored 42 points. So you could have put him at any position. He could have played it at an all-star level. You could do the same thing with LeBron. And I'll say this. People think Magic couldn't score. And I'm not saying he could have scored like LeBron and averaged 27, 30 points a game. But Magic could score. Talking to him a lot when we did the NBA Countdown show, we talked a lot off camera. I came to realize just how unselfish a player he was. Like, he really just didn't care about stats. He didn't care about how many assists I got, how many points I got, as long as we're winning. And what's telling is that I mentioned the Game 6 as a rookie. His career high, you know, he averaged 19 points for his career. Kareem got hurt with an eye infection one year. Magic goes out and scores 38 points that night, career high. Kareem sits out the next game. Magic goes out, scores 46, career high, which stayed as his career high. Kareem comes back the next game. Magic goes back down and gets his 19, 20 points. So he could have been a bigger scorer than he actually was. That's fair. But his team was stacked, and he knew it was best that he just get guys involved.
I completely agree with you from that standpoint, because how many times did we see Magic when they need him, the junior sky hook?
Yeah.
Game 4 of the NBA Finals when they beat the Boston Celtics and made that a 3-1 series in their favor, part of their back-to-back run that they had in the late 80s. I just look at a LeBron James, and not saying he can't do it, it seemed like Magic always had that. You could tell he's that guy in the playground orchestrating. Not saying LeBron wasn't, but LeBron had to learn to grow into that role. Magic had to figure out, I think, at Michigan State. Plenty of times, people forget that Greg Kelso led that team in scoring when they won the national championship, when they beat Indiana State and Larry Bird in that season. LeBron James has had to figure that out, but he was so athletically gifted that he could just out-athlete everybody until he said, you know, if I keep doing this, I'm not going to have any championships, and I'm going to be a great athlete that never won anything. Magic always had that figured out from the jump. That's why I think their games are dissimilar in that way. LeBron at least had a Magic Johnson to look to and say, that's how I wanted to play basketball. Magic was a true anomaly. We never saw a 6'9" guy who could do the things he could do. And people looked at him, they said, there's no way that we will not be able to steal a ball from that guy. And nobody was able to steal a ball from that guy when he was growing up. So I love the fact that the conversation is there and that Magic has enough respect for LeBron James to say, I love the way you play. Because Magic looks at him and says, that's a more athletic version of me when I'm seeing night in and night out in the NBA.
All right, Magic wasn't done tweeting. He also added why he should be one of the 3 best players of all time. Here's Magic's tweet. NBA championship rings are all that matter. Jordan 6, me 5, Bird 3, LeBron 2, Dr. J 1. So what does LeBron need to do in order to pass Magic on the all-time?
Was that tweet a subtle dig?
Oh, there was nothing subtle about that.
I got 5. All right.
That was about as subtle as a sledgehammer.
Well, see, okay, we're saying what does LeBron have to do to pass Magic, be a better player than Magic all time? I don't think it's just about rings. You know, I mean, Bill Russell has 11, but most of us say Michael Jordan is the best. Larry Bird has 3. There are those who say he's better than Kobe, even though Kobe's got 5, and LeBron is one of those guys apparently.
Right.
You know, so it's not just about rings. I think for LeBron to pass Magic, he needs to three-peat, you know, and he's only 28, so he's got time. But right now, what I'd say is three-peat this year. That's something Magic never did. You know, they didn't run a three-peat, even though he had a great team around him. So three-peat this year, win your 3rd straight. And then if you stay in Miami, you know, you got to win more championships. Or if you win 3 straight and then go to Cleveland, and I think if you just add 1 in Cleveland, and you could add more, but if you just win 1 in Cleveland, that gives you 4. It gives you a three-peat, gives you the first championship in Cleveland sports history in like 50 years, all the major sports. Then I think you can really have a strong argument that he's ahead of Magic, even though he would only have 4 rings, because his individual statistics are going to be much better.
Right.
Okay? He's already got 4 MVPs. Magic had 3. So LeBron may end up with 6 MVPs for all we know. And LeBron has been the best player in the league definitively for what, the last 4 or 5 years?
I'd say
and
5.
It could be another 3 or 4 years, if not longer. Okay? Magic never had a run where for 10 years or so he was definitively the best player in the league. I mean, you had Bird, you had Kareem, you had Moses Malone, you had Michael Jordan come on. You know, so he's got to win more championships. Even if you just win 2 in Miami, go to Cleveland, win 2 or something like that, I think that's how I would say he could maybe pass Magic.
He can pass Magic, to your point about championships, but they all have to be in Miami. I don't want LeBron James jumping around, going to Cleveland.
What about going back to Cleveland?
No. You know what? He made his lot to go to Miami because he felt he could not win a championship in Cleveland. There are no guarantees that if you go back there, if Kyrie Irving is there, if Andrew Bynum gets in touch with his inner Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and can stay healthy and be that kind of center. But there are no guarantees. Not to say that any guarantees in Miami. We don't know about the future.
There's certainly not.
Yeah, we don't know about the future of Dwayne Wade. We don't know about the future of Chris Bosh, whatever that team's going to look like. But he has a guy in Pat Riley who has a pretty good idea of how to put teams together. Knows exactly how to put pieces around people to make sure you're going to get the best out of yourself and the best out of the players that are going to be around you. We've clearly seen that with LeBron James in Miami. People fail to realize that they put this team together 3 years ago. They've gotten to the NBA Finals all 3 years. That is very hard to do in any sport.
Yep.
And they've been able to do that with all that pressure and all that intensity around them. I think LeBron is going to pass Magic, and the path is certainly there for him to do that. But if he's going to win those championships and get to 5, get to 6,
so
get to 7.
You think he has to win
in Miami?
At least 5, those numbers?
He has to win at least 5
he can't
in Miami.
win 4 and be considered better.